What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the BC WrestlePod Network. My name is Mikey, and I will be your host for this evening as we are going to be doing a post show discussion about Progress Wrestling Chapter 192 Cause and Effect, which, of course, has an aptly named subtitle Every Action Has Consequence. And of course, this show came to us live from the Electric Ballroom in Camden, London, which of course you can rewatch the show through Triller TV Plus or Hooked on Wrestling. We love it. I'm pre-recording this because some things came up, and so I still wanted to be able to get this video out for you to watch as I am currently preoccupied with some other things that are happening that came up. But I wanted to make sure that Cause and Effect was given its just review and post show and all that good stuff. So we had 4 championship matches, a super strong style 16 first round bout, and a main event grudge match, which was really fun to watch. I'm getting this out of the way now. I gave Cause and Effect a solid B. This was a solid top to bottom card with a couple of genuinely great moments, and it had some really meaningful storyline payoffs. So I am here to break it down match by match. And I want to start off with the pre-show match, which saw Kid Lycos taking on Koga. Now, this was not on the main card, but it is to watch up later on Hooked on Wrestling and the other world places. This was a fun match. But kicking things off on the pre-show, we had Kid Lycos 2 beat Koga. And yes, despite everything that has happened so far, Koga still is coming out alongside Gene Money and Session Moth Martina. So Koga is still running with the Atlas Champions crew at this point. And honestly, the context here matters. Koga had just lost to Sam Bailey at Chapter 191, which was for the Love of Progress 4, while Kid Lycos 2 was fresh off being part of a massive Lycos Gym tag win over Man Like Darice and Michael Oku at Chapter 190. So you've got a team on the rise versus a guy who's been spinning his wheels. Lycos 2 gets the win, and the Lycos Gym family is riding high going into the main show. I thought this was a good little pre-show match to warm up the Electric Ballroom crowd, and this was a lot of fun. Even though it was a pre-show, I do recommend you go out of your way to watch this one. So now let's get into the main card of everything that we were given for Chapter 192. And we're going to start with this one. So opening the main card, we had Spike Trevay versus Charlie Sterling, and would end up beating Charlie Sterling in about 7.5 minutes. And honestly, here's the interesting wrinkle. So for the last couple of chapters, we've been building to this match as these two are former Dominatus Regnum teammates. So there's a lot of history there. We've kind of been getting this build that Charlie Sterling has kind of been on his own thing. Spike Trevay has been done. And so there's a lot of history here. And then there's familiarity that can cut both ways. Both Spike and Charlie know each other's tendencies, they know each other's weaknesses. And Trevay is just so good at being the calculating, methodical wrestler that he is. Sterling definitely gave him a fight, but Trevay's too sharp and gets the win. This was not a blowaway opener by any means, but it did set the right tone. Trevay winning feels right for what he is characterized right now. And you know what? This was fun. I had a good time with this. This is great, and looking forward to everything that is happening so far. So this match was a solid opener. It did its job getting things started off right for the main card of Cause and Effect. Next up, we have the 2026 Super Strong Style 16 Women's Tournament getting underway here in a first round match that sees Emerson Jane beating Holly Barlow, who, of course, had Lana Austin in her corner. The match itself was quick. Jane got the win, but what happened after is the story. Emerson, showing a more vicious side than what we've seen her so far in Progress, attacked Holly Barlow post-match, and Lana Austin had to come in and make the save. So right out the gate, the Super Strong Style 16 has heat and a storyline thread dangling. Jane advances to the next round, which takes place at the May Bank Holiday event. So we will see Emerson come back for Super Strong Style 16 in May, and she's going in with an attitude, which I'm appreciate and I love to see. I want to see where this leads with Barlow and Austin. There's something brewing there with these two, and then them hugging it out and being besties. So that's going to be a fun story thread for them, as well as to see if Holly and Emerson are going to feud out more a little after this. Jane honestly is a great pick to advance. I think she's very solid, and I think she's a strong candidate to go up against the other contenders we have in this tournament. So overall, this was good tournament booking. A quick match, really fun match though. Definitely looking forward to the rest of Super Strong Style 16 in May. Now, match number 3, we have the Atlas Championship here. So Gene Money issued an open challenge for the Progress Atlas Championship, and the mystery opponent turned out to be Nathan Black, who is making his Progress debut right here at Chapter 192. Obviously, Money came out with his whole crew, which is Session Moth, Martina, and Koga in his corner. I think Nathan Black, from what I have been able to research, I think is a solid pickup for Progress. And this definitely was a perfectly fine debut for him. But the match itself had a messy finish. There were distractions from ringside, and the title belt came into play, getting Money the win. So it was a tainted retention. Money keeps the golds, but the way he got there makes him look like he needed help. And what's interesting is this dichotomy because Gene does not want to be that person. He is more leaning towards babyface. And honestly, he wants to be a fighting champion. But because he has Session Moth being the person to help him and kind of get in his way with everything, it's definitely creating an interesting dichotomy where we're going to ultimately see what ends up happening with this Session Moth family and what happens. So I also thought that Black debuted well enough here, and I do want to see more of him in Progress going forward. So this was a first successful defense for Money's reign for his third title reign here with the Atlas Championship, but it definitely comes with an asterisk. And I'm looking forward to seeing where the family gets developed and all that good stuff. Now, match number 4. This is where things got really interesting. Charles Crowley defeated Cara Noir, and the story here isn't just the result, it's how it happened. Man like Derice inserted himself into this match as a special referee and used his position to help Crowley get the pin on Noir. So let's think about what this means, right? Derice is the men's world champion, and he's going out of his way before his own main event to screw over Cara Noir, which is fair because these two have been feuding for the last couple of chapters. And to me, this was great. This is a power move from Derice. And then on top of that, after the main event, which we'll get into in a little bit, Cara Noir smashed the Progress Championship with the sledgehammer, which has now set up a future no DQ match between Noir and Derice. So this match did double duty. It told a great story with a clever finish and planted seeds for what is clearly going to be a massive feud down the road. Crowley wins and looks strong here. Even though Noir gets screwed out here in this match, he does get his revenge moment after the main event. This is a really well booked segment. This match was really good, and the storytelling elevated it up to it being one in my top 3 matches of the night. So I'm a stickler for storytelling, and I love this, and I thought it was really, really good. So now, match number 5, for me personally, this is my match of the night. This is the Young Gun, Luke Jacobs and Ethan Allen. They are your new Progress Tag Team Champions defeating Diamond Eyes here. Now, there is a big caveat here when it comes to this match. Diamond Eyes came in with Jay Joshua subbing in for Connor Mills. So it wasn't the full original lineup of Connor Mills and Nico Angelo, but regardless, Young Guns had earned this opportunity. They took out Sanity, which was, of course, Big Damo and Axel Tischer at Chapter 191 to set up this title shot, and they delivered when the lights were the brightest. The reign of Diamond Eyes ends at 154 days and 3 defenses. This was everything you want from the best tag teams in UK wrestling, back and forth action, near falls. The crowd completely invested. Young Guns win the titles, and it felt like a moment here. The Electric Ballroom was buzzing. This, obviously, like I said, is my match of the night. If you watch nothing else from the show, please go out of your way to watch this match. This was so good. And the Progress Tag Teams division continues to show that they got it and they are amazing. So we get into the semi-main event next, and this one has some extra emotional weight. This was Alexis Falcon versus Mercedes Martinez for the Progress Women's World Championship. Alexis Falcons retains the Progress Women's World Championship over Mercedes Martinez. And Martinez is a legend, a former WWE and AEW star, but this is essentially a retirement showcase for her in Progress. She wanted to compete at the Electric Ballroom, feel that crowd energy, and she got to do that. Falcon had won the title by stopping Rain Leverkusen at Chapter 189, and she's been building her legacy as champion ever since. Martinez putting Falcon over on the way out is the right call. It gives Alexis a massive scalp on her resume and establishes her as a legit champion, not just as a transitional one. This is the second consecutive successful defense for Falcon. It was a solid, meaningful match. Both women came out looking great. And honestly, this is a beautiful way to honor Martinez's career. Alrighty, main event time as we see man like Darius take on Kid Lycos for the Progress World Championship. And to no surprise here, man like Darius retains the Progress Men's World Championship over Kid Lycos in what was a deeply personal grudge match. These two have history going back years. They came up together in the British and European wrestling scene for over 7 years, and they faced each other in practically every context imaginable. Lycos had the revenge angle going in a big way. He pinned Darius in a tag match at Chapter 190, which is what earned him this title shot. But Darius, who already been playing chess all night and reffing the Crowley Noir match, proved once again why he is the man in Progress right now. This is the 12th consecutive title defense, which is an absolute monstrous reign. The dramatic moment, though, Kid Lycos tried to use a hammer to cheat, but his own tag team partner, Kid Lycos 2, came out and stopped him. The two are apparently on good terms again, which makes the whole thing bittersweet. Lycos couldn't win clean, didn't win dirty, and Darius walks out still on top. And then, like mentioned before, Car Noir destroys the title with Sledgehammer to close the show and set up that no DQ match. Pulsating main event with great storytelling. This is also another match that I highly recommend y'all go out of your way to watch this. This was fantastic, and this was really, really good. So overall, Progress Chapter 192, Cause and Effect, gets a B from me. The show was well structured. It told great stories throughout. The Young Guns tag title win is a top moment so far in Progress 2026. The Darius as referee angle was clever booking. The Car Noir Sledgehammer closing image has me personally hyped for what's next. And Alexis Falcon's reign continues to feel meaningful. The only things for me holding it back from a higher grade are the short runtime of some of the undercard matches and that somewhat muddy Atlas finish. But highs were high, and this show absolutely did its job advancing stories and creating moments. But that's going to do it for me here. If you enjoyed this post show, please make sure you subscribe to BC Wrestle Pod. You drop a like and you let me know in the comments, what did you give Chapter 192? And are you excited for that Noir versus Darius no DQ match down the road? Because I know I am. The next time we will be here for the Progressives review will be when we are covering Chapter 193, which is Vegas 2. So this is Progress's show happening during WrestleMania weekend. And we will be here to give you all of the action that happened in the city of in Sin City, which is going to be a lot of fun to talk about. But we will catch you at the next one. So from all of us here at BC WrestlePod to you at home, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We'll catch you for the next one. But until then, sayonara, adios, and until next time, peace.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another Vibe Tribe production. What's going to happen next time? Well, you're going to have to tune in to find out. But until then, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, and as always, make sure that you keep the good times rolling. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.